Welcome to the 2021 Rhode Island Nature Video Festival, sponsored by the Rhode Island Natural History Survey and the Environment Council of Rhode Island. I'm David Gregg. I'm the director of the Rhode Island Natural History Survey. I am standing in front of a wall of technology because in COVIDia, we're all TV broadcasters now. And with me is Greg Garrett, the director of the Environment Council of Rhode Island. Greg.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Greg Garrett. I'm the administrator of the Environment Council of Rhode Island. I also seem to be the fool who invented this event. I'm a video maker. I make videos of the wild animals in North Burial Ground in Providence on the YouTube channel Mashasset Critters. And I wanted to see what everybody else was doing. So I said, well, let's hold a festival. This is going to be our fourth one. Every one of them is different. Every one of them has been very good and very interesting. This year we got a bunch of really good videos submitted. You're going to see the highlights. You're going to see the ones that the judges pick as the best ones, but everybody has their own taste. So you're going to actually have a chance. We're going to send you a link as soon as this festival is over. We'll send you a link and you can look at all of the videos and vote on them at the People's Choice Award. So I encourage everybody to check out the videos that after this that you didn't get to see today. You'll also be able to donate there. You know, every year this event has been different. This year we have an award we're giving out, and we have the People's Choice Awards, as well as being on video. So it's really kind of different. And to continue the evolution, it takes a little bit of resources. You know, we can do this relatively cheap, but, you know, it takes something. And, you know, the partnership with the Rhode Island Natural History Survey has been great. I mean, they are just fantastic to work with. And, you know, they've managed to put this technology together. So we're sharing the donations equally. So any of you who haven't donated but would like to, please do. And, you know, check out and vote in the People's Choice Award. I need to make a few thanks. We have one sponsor. Representative Lauren Carson of Newport has been a sponsor. This is her third year of sponsoring. We much thank Lauren. She is a real supporter of video in Rhode Island. We had judges this year for the first time. We have people, you know, all the videos that were submitted. We got 21 videos. The judges picked 12 to show you. And they did a great job. And I really want to thank Eugenia Marks, Laura Landon, and Dana Goodman. Some incredible naturalists and a film school grad. I mean, how could you go wrong? I also really have to thank the Environment Council of Rhode Island for letting me come up with this thing 6 years ago and to let me kind of just take it where it needed to go. And now that it's partnered with the Natural History Survey, it's going to go even further. And I'm really excited about that.
I'll just say that I'm extremely grateful to everybody at the Natural History Survey who has contributed to making this event work. We have a couple of special activities as kind of part of our effort to upgrade the Rhode Island Nature Video Festival to make it more of a community activity. So we're going to have a People's Choice Award. We're going to talk about that in a second. We also have a special award that the Natural History Survey has given for wildlife conservation, technology, and art. And as we switch from one to the other, bear with us if we have technical glitches. Hopefully everything will be all set. The People's Choice Award is new. The board of the Natural History Survey has contributed to getting some prizes for video makers who win the People's Choice Award. So there's real stuff at stake here, and we're counting on you all to, after the show, vote at at the web page that's linked with this tiny URL, and anybody else who wants to go, you have to look at all the videos first and attest that you've looked at them, and then you can vote. But it'll be cool, and it'll help to make it make the whole festival more of a thing. So I hope you'll do that. Now I'd like to present the award for excellence in wildlife conservation, technology, and art. Can go ahead and switch. So we have a special award. The Natural History Survey was thinking of ways to continue with our emphasis on the synergy that exists between conservation biology, technology, and art. Every time somebody comes up with a new technology, we find new things out about conservation biology. Art engages more people than ever before, so all these things work together. And there's really no better way to bring people's attention to this than through this award, which with a lot of work from the Board of the Natural History Survey has been, which we've brought about. So we're going to roll a little clip which has me introducing it and the award recipient, and then he's got a couple of samples of his work in camera trapping. So I hope you'll enjoy this. I hope that you will think that this is a good addition to the Rhode Island Nature Video Festival. Enjoy. Wishes to remain anonymous. Emeritus Scientist of the Smithsonian National Zoological Park and an Honorary Fellow of the California Academy of Sciences. In retirement, Dr. Wimmer has dedicated himself to filming wildlife using game cameras. He publishes his stories, photos, and video clips on his blog site called The Camera Trap Codger. Chris's photos and videos are exceptional. He uses an array of commercial cameras and his own hacked-together homebrew systems. In the last 5 years or so, the Rhode Island Natural History Survey, in our programs and activities, has given increased prominence to people who use alternative media to communicate important information about Rhode Island's animals, plants, and natural communities. With the annual art exhibit and open house and the Rhode Island Nature Video Festival. This year, the Rhode Island Natural History Survey continues to expand its perspective along these lines with our new Expeditions to Rhode Island YouTube video series. Also, we responded to a request for nominations for an award recognizing individuals who have excelled in wildlife conservation and embraced the use of art and technology in this pursuit. Nominees who have demonstrated a passion for mentoring and sharing their knowledge were particularly sought. Our nomination was prepared by myself, Dr. Ted Grand of the National Zoological Park in Washington, D.C., Dr. Scott Derrickson of the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute, SCBI, in Front Royal, Virginia, and survey board member Dr. Peter August from the University of Rhode Island. The sponsor of the award wishes to remain anonymous. As are our recent efforts to increase knowledge and engagement through visual arts, the themes this award strives to celebrate are front and center consistent with the mission and history of the Natural History Survey. We put together a very strong nomination and have learned that our candidate was chosen. It is, therefore, my pleasure to present the Excellence in Wildlife Conservation Technology and Art Award to Dr. Kristen Wimmer. You may know Dr. Wimmer by his blog posting name, Camera Trap Codger. His biographical tagline reads, "Believes nature is infinitely more interesting than shopping malls, born 100 years too late." Dr. Wimmer was the director of the Smithsonian Institution's Conservation and Research Center, now SCBI, in Front Royal, Virginia. He also served as the director of the National Zoological Park in Washington, D.C. He has a distinguished record of scientific research in wildlife biology and conservation, performing landmark studies of tigers in Nepal, endangered elephants in Asia, forest carnivores in Indonesia, and hoofed animals in America. Upon retirement from the Smithsonian Institution, Dr. Wimmer moved to Magalia, California in the Sierra Nevadas near Chico. He is Emeritus Scientist of the Smithsonian National Zoological Park and an Honorary Fellow of the California Academy of Sciences. In retirement, Dr. Wimmer has dedicated himself to filming wildlife using game cameras. He publishes his stories, photos, and video clips on his blog site called The Camera Trap Codger. Chris's photos and videos are exceptional. He uses an array of commercial cameras and his own hacked-together homebrew systems. Dr. Wimmer's photographs stand apart from others because of his deep knowledge of the natural history of the animals he is filming. His sets, camera, light, motion triggers, are not only expertly placed to capture the animals he is photographing, as you would expect from someone with his depth of experience, they beautifully capture critical elements of animal behavior and habitats. There are many analytical challenges to using game cameras to census wildlife populations, as the staff of the survey's own Narragansett Bay Coyote study can attest. Dr. Wimmer is passionate about his photography and is passionate about sharing his knowledge with students and peers. He methodically describes his camera trapping techniques on his blog site, where he also responds to questions, and has taught a camera trapping field course for many years. Chris is the go-to guy for guidance on how to design sampling protocols that yield scientifically credible data. And his work mixes beautiful art with rigorous science. As aspiring nature YouTubers ourselves and co-sponsors of the Rhode Island Nature Video Festival, the Rhode Island Natural History Survey is pleased to honor Dr. Kristen Wemmer's many contributions to using photography and technology to advance the goals of wildlife conservation, and for sharing his knowledge with his peers and students.
Hello, Rhode Island Natural History Survey. This is Chris Wemmer, also known as the Camera Trap Codger, broadcasting to you today from Tom's Trail at the edge of Butte Creek Canyon in Magalia, California. I am here today to thank you for the survey's 2020 award for wildlife conservation, technology, and art. It's a tremendous honor, and it took me by complete surprise. I'm also pleased to help in kicking off the Rhode Island Nature Video Festival. You deserve to be very proud of this unique and fun event. I have to confess that the survey's certified letter made me uneasy. It wasn't written by a lawyer, but it sure sounded suspicious. Here's what it said. Dear Dr. Wemmer, I realize that almost every letter that begins with "Congratulations, you have won," is a scam of some sort. Well, it continued that the sponsor, who wishes to remain anonymous, changes the award theme every year, but that this year's theme matched yours truly like a glove. There was a 2-page nomination document written by the survey's executive director, Dr. David Craig, and signed by 3 other distinguished naturalists. It took a week for the award to finally sink in, but it's a wonderful validation that my obsession with camera trapping, making movies, and blogging has helped others appreciate nature. And it's also proven to me that almost anyone can record really fascinating aspects of animal behavior using just camera traps. And if you become a little bit preoccupied with it, all the better. The good thing is the prize is an incentive for me to finish up a 15-chapter book called A Camera Trapper's Companion. I've been working on it far too long, agonizing over it, but it's all but finished. Books on camera trapping are often highly technical. This one is not. The technical ones are written for wildlife biologists. The not-so-technical books are written for hunters. This book is written specifically for amateur naturalists, and it'll be a lot more fun to read. In closing, I want to thank the Natural History Survey, the award sponsor, the nominating committee, and the survey's extended family for this very special recognition. As a humble token of my gratitude, I've assembled some recent camera trap clips, which I hope you find entertaining. Lastly, some parting advice for recreational nature photographers. Don't let mosquitoes, biting flies, and poison ivy keep you from the field. This is an activity that's aerobic, it's good for the spirit, and it's good for the economy. And above all, it'll make you smarter. And if you happen to live in bear country, be prepared, have a plan, and bring your bear spray. Just not a can like this. Creeks have much to offer. Boating, for example. A place to go fishing. A place to get a cold drink. A place to take a pee. And a place to cool your trotters. When the weather's mild, critters cross the creek without hesitation, day and night. But it's different in snow. Unless someone older and wiser shows you how it's done. If you want to keep your feet dry, just jump. Jumping across the creek is not a challenge for the resident pair of coyotes. They also choose the shortest distance. But they didn't like walking on ice, and they didn't want to jump and land on it. This yodeler looked for thicker ice to cross downstream. Watch what happened. Notice how this female carefully steps over the ice and tippy-toes through the water. Bobcat vaulted over a wide span of the creek and landed with room to spare. The same cat was ambivalent in the snow and decided to look elsewhere. You can hear her milling around in a decision dilemma. What to do? It looks close, but not close enough. She decides to hunt mousies elsewhere. If she had just walked down the bank, it wouldn't have looked so far. And that's exactly what she did on a cold, snowy night when she sailed across the creek like an Olympian. But the bravest of all was Bugsy, the black-tailed jackrabbit. He could have cleared that creek on the run, but he launched from a standing start. And he wasn't a wuss about getting wet feet.
Hi, everybody. We're back. I hope you enjoyed that little addition to our festival. If you liked it, or you didn't like it, or you have suggestions for what we could do in the future, we would love to hear about them. So you can put them in the chat, or you can call us on the phone, or email us anytime. Thanks to everybody who made that happen. And now on to the main course for today, and that is the collection of videos that were submitted for consideration in the festival. This year we added a jury which selected videos to show to you today. There are other videos that appear on the website that you reach when you use that tiny URL, so be sure to look at all the videos, but the ones that were specially selected for us today by the jury, we're going to show now. We had a glitch with the sound at the start of the Wemmer Award package. We might have a glitch with the sound again. If the sound goes out, we're going to fix it and we'll start over again. So here are the videos that we're very happy and proud to have in the 2021 Rhode Island Nature Video Festival.
Here we see the banded net-winged beetle. Like some other beetles, banded net-wings are able to discharge noxious fluid through pores in their exoskeletons or reflex bleed from the joints of their legs if attacked. Adults are known for their black and bright orange color resulting from pyrazine, lysergic acid, and other fatty acids, which make their taste unpleasant for predators. Pyrazine is also found in fenugreek, an herb seed extracts are today sold to older men looking to improve sexual ability and interest. Fenugreek is also used as a remedy for thinning hair, dandruff, or itchy scalp. Pyrazines themselves are also used as flavoring agents. This is an eastern small milkweed bug. It was found on what appears to be horseweed, a member of the Asteraceae family, not milkweed. Small milkweed bugs have been found to feed on other plant taxa besides milkweeds. Horseweed is native to North America and has been brought to Eurasia and Australia. Native Americans used horseweed to treat an assortment of ailments, as well as for its astringent properties. It was also used by early colonists to treat diarrhea and dysentery. Populations of horseweed have developed resistance to herbicides including glyphosate and ALS or acetolactate synthase inhibitors, making them a problem for soybean and corn monocultures in the United States agricultural industry. Horseweed also contains toxic allelopathic chemicals that inhibit the growth of nearby plants. This common green June beetle is dead. It has been decomposing for several days, leaving only its exoskeleton behind. Field ants wander around it. Grubs of this beetle, plentiful in the spring, are used as live fishing bait. These white grubs are also eaten by many animals, including skunks, moles, crows, and grackles. Some birds and frogs eat the adults. Both the adults and grubs are parasitized by certain species of wasp and fly, such as the waved light fly, which lay their eggs in bodies of the beetle before the offspring devour the host. In some regions, these scarab beetles are known as fig eaters, given that they can be pests of fruit. southeastern United States, they are commonly known as June bugs, as their time of peak flight begins in late June. Several other species are known as June bugs, including the chafer beetle, Japanese beetle, and the 10-lined June beetle.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for a backyard full of birds, butterflies, and small rodents. You are watching images and videos we shot of animal behavior in our backyard this year. 2020 has been a unique year for many reasons. When the nature of the new coronavirus suggested a prudent shutdown of all social gatherings over a certain size, I lost 7 hours of driving a week as I worked between the RISD, URI, and Brown campuses. I lost a fulfilling social experience of many classes and research meetings and found myself at home from sunrise to sundown. By May, I shared the house with one cat struggling with diabetes, and I shared it with another that had a 1-inch tumor taken from her digestive system and had been diagnosed with large cell lymphoma cancer. I appreciated the opportunity to be home with them all day. My wife and I bought a home in Providence 16 years ago. We had both grown up in New England, but had been living in Seattle for over a decade. It took a year to paint and update the inside of the house after years of disregard by the previous owners. We then found a lovely couple of master gardeners to help us build a garden. We were sold on wanting native plants and organic methods. We believed the hypothesis that we'd be rewarded with more animal behavior by going native. It took 6 or 7 years to reach the level of activity that satisfied our daily watches. Then we gained a more sophisticated understanding of what attracted birds and butterflies. The Audubon Society and local bird lovers helped us. So did the demonstration butterfly gardens up in Buffinville State Park in Massachusetts. We got our first resident groundhog in year 4. He, or so we figured him a he, lived under our house and accessed his home from a small entrance that was covered in part by some ground cover we had planted. He seemed to be a thoughtful creature, as he would eat from our garden only on occasion, and he'd nibble on the same piece of fruit or multiple meals, instead of munching a little of everything. The following year, our next-door neighbor said a groundhog was living under her shed. 3 years later, we noticed an entrance to his burrow under our garage. Fast forward to 12 years later, and 4 of the neighboring houses knew of the groundhog and discussed its eating patterns among all our gardens. 15 years, and there were 2 young ones spotted with a parent. This year, there were 4 young ones who seemed determined to eat us all out of house and home. We had decided to feed one groundhog with iceberg lettuce and carrots to reduce the amount he or she would eat from our food garden. We kept that up this year, but wonder what's in store for us next. We put out our first birdhouse 3 years ago and had a family in it during spring. We added a second house the next year, but had no activity. Last year, the second house sheltered a family of 4 finches who remained with us this year. We watched 3 babies grow as they fed on our feeders daily. This year we had a family of chickadees with 3 young in the first house. We've watched those babies feeding daily. They are still pretty small as we make the turn to winter. Our front yard is a busy street. Our house is close to the street and the sidewalk is filled with the residents of the area, many of whom walk with their dogs. We keep our flower boxes filled with seasonal displays, but have a 6-week period after the winter and before the annuals would survive being planted. Those 6 weeks are the only time where flower boxes are empty. This year, a pair of mourning doves had 2 babies in a flower box. We were astounded they stayed the course and they weren't bothered by curious walkerbys. We were able to take photos every few days. We saw no evidence of babies after the family left the nest, but now we have 8 mourning doves that need to feed off our feeder regularly. My wife has spent time investigating the preferred foods and habitat of specific birds we would like to see frequent our backyard. Our biggest success has been attracting orioles. We had a male visit us last year and had 2 pair of orioles visit our orange feeder from mid-April to mid-September this year. Our next project is slated to attract cedar waxwings. A neighbor down the street gets regular visits of 6 to 8 of them. We have become familiar with all the individual animals this year as a result of being home every day. The squirrels seem pleased to come by and visit regularly. They clean themselves within feet of our kitchen windows as if they want us to see them at their best. Like with the groundhogs, we've seen many humorous moments play out with squirrel actors. It's joyful, but also brings a sadness when a squirrel we've gotten to know no longer comes within view. The busy street has many casualties, and larger animals do come around. We've had coyotes, dogs, and hogs visit the backyard in our neighborhood. We took our first songbird to the Ocean State Veterinary Hospital, a jay that did not survive the night. There's just so much to notice, and there's now a rhythm to the seasons we will look forward to, as much as any holiday schedule of years past. How lovely to experience a Rhode Island garden, one new insight at a time. We live in a very special place for that opportunity. Here's to 2021 and a lot of new experiences to learn from.
Good morning. My name's Deb, and I am on my way to Johnston, Rhode Island right now to look for something that was discovered this past Sunday at a small little farm. It's pretty unusual, and hopefully it's stuck around to this point where maybe I can get some pictures and do some video on it. So I'm taking you with me this morning, and hopefully we'll get to see if it's still hanging around. All right, let's go.
A lone, barred-brown, long-winged, long-tailed bird with yellow eyes caught the attention and imagination of Rhode Island bird watchers this past fall. Alan Schneck made the initial sighting of the barred-brown bird at Snake Den Park in Johnston, Rhode Island on November 1st. Why would a bird so non-colorful or flashy be the spotlight of eBird lists? Well, because it is a bird that at any other time would be spending its migration in Africa. But somehow, it ended up on a small farm in the smallest state in the Union. Common cuckoos are found widespread throughout Europe and Asia. They start to migrate for Africa in September. So how did this bird end up an ocean away from its home? Could it have been someone's exotic pet that escaped? Did it get caught in a storm and veer off course? Or is it just another crazy cuckoo occurrence of 2020? Most experts agree that it got caught in a tailwind and just lost its way. However it got here, it is extremely rare to see a common cuckoo in this area. The bird from which we get the sound and name the cuckoo clock has only been documented in the entire continental U.S. 2 other times, once in California in 2012 and the other in Martha's Vineyard in 1981. Birders from all over the East Coast and parts of the Midwest flock to the small Johnston, Rhode Island once-in-a-lifetime chance common cuckoo. Rhode Island is home to 2 other types of cuckoo birds. The black-billed cuckoo and the yellow-billed cuckoo both spend spring and summer in Rhode Island. They are shy birds that live in dense woodlands and thickets. This visiting cuckoo bird, however, was never shy, putting on shows of its ability to swoop down and scoff up woolly bear caterpillars, which seemed to be its preferred meal, wherever it could find them. But as strangely as it appeared about 1 week later. The last sighting of the juvenile female common cuckoo was on November 8th. Its arrival and 8-day layover created a flurry of fascination, and its departure has many saying it's simply flown south for the winter. For me, I hope it finds plenty of fields with many more woolly bear caterpillars and eventually finds its way home.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our studio. I hope you enjoyed the videos, the festival videos. We are going to get ourselves organized for a discussion with the video makers. If we can get this to work, it's going to work this way. We're going to put up the video makers on the screen via a Google Meet window, and we are going to have you all type your questions into the YouTube chat window. You type them into the YouTube chat window. Kyra reads them off to our video makers who will be in the Google Meet window, and they'll be able to respond. That's the theory. Stick with us in case you have technical glitches. Yeah, we should be able to pull this off. So hang on there a sec. We have some of our video makers on the call, and Kyra, are you on the call? I thought I saw you come on.
I believe she's trying to fix her camera.
Oh, okay. Kyra's working on her camera. Oh, Kyra is also here. There she is. Are we getting audio from that window, though? That's the trick. Hang on.
Can we get this going?
Okay.
Work?
Is that sound going out? We're gonna just check and make sure that I'm going out.
Yeah, we have audio out.
I don't want to get
Okay.
feedback.
I can't hear the window though, so Kyra, go ahead and ask a question. We're gonna keep admitting people as we go along, but Kyra, go ahead and ask a question.
Okay.
100% here. You want to sit over here?
Okay, I think we're waiting for a few more folks to come. Thanks, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg. So, wow, what kind of questions? I'm going to start with Carolyn.
Go ahead and ask a question.
Oh, timing. Did you camp out with the nest
for a few more
for
folks to come. Thanks,
days
everybody.
at a time?
Sorry, I think I'm hearing the audio feed through a couple times. Could you repeat that, Kyra?
Wow.
What you might want to do is turn off the YouTube and just be on the Google, so you don't hear it twice.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you say that again, Kyra?
Yeah, I was wondering if you camped out for days or if you just got really lucky to get that turtle emerging.
I would say it was a bit of a mixture of both. I was spending many hundreds of hours in the field this summer, getting, data and footage of those hatchlings and adult terrapins. So it was a combination of luck, being there often enough to get lucky. But it was a really magical moment to see those hatchlings coming out of the sand.
Very, very cool. And then let's see, who was it Nancy? Did you have the wood ducks? No? Or whoever it was who had the wood ducks. Do we have them with us?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Okay. Oh, and there's Elise. She just joined us. David, can I have you moderate so I can look at the other screen to see if there's questions?
Did she say she wanted me to moderate?
He is not able to hear them.
Or Greg, if you could.
I'm on the Google. I'm not on the YouTube.
Yep, that's fine. I need to look at YouTube.
Okay, I can moderate then.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Bear with us, everybody. We've pretty much saturated the capacity of the computer we're using to broadcast this with, so there's a little bit of lag. Hang on.
Okay. Do we have anybody who's here? You want to just like, tell us something about making your video? What is the best thing about doing it? Elise, you want to start us? I don't think people are hearing me. Oh.
Okay.
I can hear you too.
Okay.
I think Elise is trying to figure out how to get off mute.
Let me check in with her. So Allison, last season was the first season for this
Right.
like permanent cam. How was your experience with that? Just, was it what you expected? What
we could have hoped for? It was wonderful. We had a healthy pair come and build the nest up, and then we had actual eggs, and then we had 3 healthy chicks, and then they all grew up and were healthy. It was astounding. We got so much wonderful public feedback. People were especially thrilled to have the Osprey camp because we were all kind of, isolated with COVID. And it was really just became this touch point for people to enjoy not just the outdoors, but the story of this little family. And because it happened, it happens between March and September, October, it's this condensed little story. It's just, we got so much positive feedback, and we're, that's a pretty high bar to set for future years, 3 healthy chicks. So we're waiting to see what happens this year. And everyone is welcome to watch the cam. It's up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So a lot of us have been watching it all winter long. And it provides nice views in the winter. And every once in a while, another kind of a bird will stop by. But we really, it's a free resource. We welcome everybody to watch as much as they like. I just want to add that I'm absolutely charmed by every single one of these videos. I'm just, oh my goodness, they're fabulous. And Greg, I was really glad that you brought up that that one of the videos was submitted by a student. That's impressive and a really great effort.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Yeah.
Bruce, that was some pretty impressive fencing for the groundhog deterrent.
That's my brother-in-law's concoction. I think it works a lot better.
Okay, I think you're going to need something from Acme to deal with it in future years.
Well, you know how well Acme stuff
very
works.
stressful.
It's amazing to me how well groundhogs can climb.
Yeah, the nice thing is we got most of the crop of the early lettuce and arugula before they found their way in. Once you have a certain amount that satisfies you for at least growing the stuff, they devoured everything pretty much.
I'd love to hear more about the cuckoo.
Oop. Deb, you're on mute, I think.
Now she's on mute.
Nope.
I think she's having trouble. Now you're not on mute, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Start somebody
bummer.
else.
I have a question about for everybody or for anybody who wants to answer it. And the videos were, some videos were sort of, you know, raw footage or very close to raw footage. Others were clearly composed as a work, a sort of a narrative work. And I'm curious how people decide when to stop messing with the nature video. How do you decide you don't want to just show raw footage and you want a narrative? And then, like, when do you decide that enough messing around with it is enough, and or that you haven't achieved your narrative goals yet and you want to keep chewing away at it?
I can talk about that a little because mine are all narrated and stuff, and the sound where I work is so bad from the highway that you have to like get rid of it. I'm right next to I-95, and so you got to get rid of that stuff. And then I'm not a very good camera person, so I've got so much footage that is just so shaky or so bad that, you know, you just have to kind of cut and piece till you find what you want. Or when I was doing my otters, they're underwater so much, so it's hard to like even like, you know, so you have to cut away because there's nothing on the screen. So it just kind of presents itself, and you kind of do it that way. And I've always found that, you know, I don't want to talk the whole time, but the music helps keep people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy, how was yours?
Well,
done?
because you limited it to one submission, and I had like a lot of videos, I had to figure out a way to get everything that I wanted in, and then of course, then I had to decide what would fit in when it started to look like it would be a COVID themed thing. And once I made that decision, things kind of fell into place better than I had expected. I mean, there's still things I would love to share, and I share on other platforms, but you know, I tried to pick things that fit in with that idea. I'm just sorry that, you know, the transmissions seem to make things a little pixelated. It really is better, it looks better than that. But I really enjoyed everybody else's take on things. It's interesting not only to see what nature is out in Rhode Island, from the forests of Elisa's yard to the backyard of Bruce, but then how people chose to interpret, you know, experiencing that nature. So that's always fun to come up with.
So one of the questions we had, and it got answered in the chat, but someone was asking Allison who got to clean off the camera.
We don't clean it. While the birds are in the area, we will not approach it. We don't want to disturb them. And we actually have a disclaimer right on the site that says, whatever happens, happens. Off season, when the birds have made their migration and they're away, we'll go up, make some adjustments. In one of the videos, you can see that the horizon is tilted because there was a storm and it kind of was tilted. But this is a natural camera, and we're going to get what we get.
You don't want to put a little windshield wiper on it?
That's a great idea, Nancy. We could try that. I don't know how well it would work, but yeah, that one, we woke up one day and found that the camera was obscured. So we knew something had happened, and I was able to go back in the, we have a subscription service that saves 7 days worth of film. So I was able to go back in the footage and find that exact moment that is the blooper in the video. That's our most watched video on Facebook ever. That's our most liked and shared post ever on Facebook. So we think a lot of people really enjoyed that.
I didn't see that coming.
We knew it was coming because we woke up and saw the mess, so we went back for it, but it was really something, just perfect.
Okay, I have a question here for Deb. Deb, you're there, right? There she is. Oh, are you still muted? Can't hear you. The mute button is on.
How about that?
Oh, there you are.
All right, good. I had to switch to my phone.
Okay. So the question was just that you had a lot of bird video footage already up of other things. How was it for you to have the experience of videoing this really, really notable, unusual visitor?
Yeah, it was really cool. For somebody who just really appreciates birds, to know that that bird belongs in a whole other like part of the world was pretty spectacular to have it available to go see. Even though it's really common, where it originally lives, but to have that here and be able to see it as well as we all did. I mean, I really don't think that many people got to miss it. If they took the trip to Snake Den Farm and tried to find it, a lot of people saw it when they did. So it was pretty cool.
Awesome. And there's a comment on the feed here, Bruce, commending you for how much can be done in a very small urban setting.
I think it's great. We live on a very busy road, and four of us decided to do the gardening together, and it really slowed traffic down when the flowers are all out and there's activity going. And my neighbor next door is Korean American, and she uses all kinds of Asian techniques to maintain her soil. And Linda was really the one to go first after that, and she's really, really busy too. She's the one who kind of suggested we'd find Orioles, and then my wife, who took all that photography and took all the video, she was just spectacular with those Orioles and got such joy out of seeing them every day. So highly recommended.
That is very cool.
One of the benefits of 2020, silver linings.
You had to find them wherever they were.
Absolutely.
Okay, Kyra, I think before the computer has a complete meltdown, I think what I'd like to do is thank everybody for participating. I'd like to thank the video makers, our sponsors, Kyra, the folks at the Environment Council of Rhode Island. I'm sorry that we haven't been able to sort of meet all together. This technology, if we keep working on it for another year, it'll be a whole lot better. But it's no substitute for everybody all coming together. And it's no substitute for everybody all coming together and being able to see the videos in sort of their original resolution and without lag and whatnot. But this will be, I think, like a lot of things in COVID, we will add to our repertoire. We will add this kind of remote connection to our repertoire. And when we do this again in the future, we'll have multiple ways for people to participate. And comments would be really helpful. So this is going to be archived on the Natural History Survey YouTube channel. If you're new to our YouTube channel, you'll see all kinds of other natural history videos. Subscribe to the channel and check out what else is there. And we'll be putting up stuff about our future events, including future editions of the Rhode Island Nature Video Festival. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody again. And don't forget to vote for the People's Choice Award. everybody who casts a vote for the People's Choice Award gets a special prize. And of course, the winner, the first, second, and third place in the People's Choice Award are going to get a special prize too. So the fun just never stops here at the Nature Video Festival. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll roll the credits, and we'll see you all later.